If you're looking for better employment opportunities, but you need to upskill, or you lost your job due to COVID-19 and you want to know what's out there that might meet your financial needs, well, today's show is for you. We're doing a deep dive on WIOA and Forward Careers, the WIOA service provided for Waukesha, Ozaki, and Washington counties. We're talking skills training, job search, job matching, and so much more. Welcome to the interview presented by New Horizons Computer Learning Center of Wisconsin. I'm your host, Pat Miller. Now, this show is a one-on-one interview and a Q&A session with an expert that can help you get a job and grow your career because, after the year we've had, wouldn't that be nice? Sure would be. If you're serious about getting a gig, don't forget the thousands of training courses New Horizons of Wisconsin can offer you to up-level your skills. From an intro to computers, you can take right on your mobile device, to Windows training, to immersive technology courses to prep you in the growing fields of cloud computing, cybersecurity, and more. New Horizons is making computer training simple and fun so you can get a job better than you can imagine. Learn more about them at newhorizonswy.com. The show is also sponsored by Forward Careers. If you're looking to launch a new career or change careers but don't know where to start, maybe you lost your job due to COVID or your company closed and you want to know what the jobs are out there that meet your needs, check out Forward Careers, the preferred source for career exploration, education, and skill training and employment connections for every person and business. Forward Careers is a team of workforce professionals that specialize in providing high-quality, effective, and accessible career services to individuals seeking to improve their employment potential in on-demand and driven high-growth professions. To learn more, visit our sponsor online at forwardcareers.org. Funding is provided by the Department of Labor Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, H-1B Tech Hire Grant, Department of Corrections Windows to Work, and Children and Family Independent Living. With all of that, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your sponsorship. And let's get on with the show. Our guest today, she knows what she's talking about. She's the project director for WIOA. Mai Yang is here. Mai, good morning to you. How is Tuesday so far?
Crazy, but it's good.
I hope it's crazy good, right? Things are so exciting, right?
Yes.
Very good. Well, let's set the stage for where we are now. How hard and disruptive have the last 12 months been to employees and companies?
12 months, the last 12 months have been disruptive for the companies and employees here in Wisconsin and Milwaukee. We have companies that, there are companies that are finding new ways of doing things. Then there are employees who have to think of, their well-being, their families, having to change their way of doing things. Now we have parents working from home, some parents who can't go back to work because they have kids that are at home. You have the hospitality industry that got hit pretty hard. We had a couple of numerous layoffs there. But it also was a time for the logistics industry that is thriving in this pandemic. So, and at the same rate, it created remote jobs created remote jobs for some people. And then it created new remote jobs in other aspects. So just finding new ways, even in our line of work, is finding new ways of doing things, reaching out to the public in a remote world. And I can see that it will continue going this route. It's probably not going back to where we meet people in person all the time. So,
well, let's talk about that. With all of this disruptive change, there are negatives in some ways, but you mentioned more remote work and some other interesting opportunities out there. So as a result of all of these closures and disruption, what's left for job seekers? Are there jobs out there right now?
There are jobs out there. It's just, marketing yourself. And I say, to job seeker is look, make sure you have all your stuff, your resume, make sure you have your cover letter, make sure you research the company, make sure you review the job description before you apply. And if it doesn't work out, review after a few months, review what's not working and what's working. And you may have to tweak things. You may, if you find, you know what, I need training, go and look for that training to help you market yourself in the industry, because there are there are those individuals who are laid off. Is take that opportunity to upgrade your skills and look at what's available out there. Um, you may have all that, I mean, majority of what they're asking for. It's just marketing yourself to that, or it might be a few months, taking that training course that is a few weeks, that can help upgrade your skill and make yourself marketable in in the in the oh my god, in the job market.
And I think that's something that some job seekers think, "Oh, I lost my job. It's
Mhm.
going to be bad." But with training, do you see people that kind of slingshot around where they were and end up in a better place because they learn a new skill or they sharpen their skills? Can you talk about that? Maybe shed some hope for job seekers?
Oh yeah, we have individuals who, look at, I have a lot of individuals taking this opportunity to go into logistics. Um, Excuse me. I also have individuals coming in and wanting to upgrade their skills to get their PMP or some IT certification, and that has put them in a better position at the end. The PMP is a few weeks long, but it once you apply for the certification, hey, you're making pretty more than probably what you were laid off from. So,
Right. And
yeah.
that's some hope for sure. And
Mhm.
before we get on to WIOA's mission and program, which we're going to talk about in a second, you've mentioned logistics a few times. Can you shed some light on that? What's going on there? Is that industry just blossoming, or what's going on?
Logistics has always been there, I know, but with the pandemic, there's a lot more demand for um, CDL drivers. So we're seeing a lot of that, and you probably hear a lot. I hear it about the incentives they're giving for truck drivers, because now we're at home. There's that people are ordering a lot, ordering from they're ordering online. Um, so yeah, there's that piece, and the demand for goods and for products has, you know, are because of that, many, what I've noticed is they're asking for CDL, and we're getting people coming in wanting to go into CDL. Um, but then at the same rate, you also have those individuals working at the manufacturing and the warehouse, um, that they're recruiting for workers to work those positions as well.
If you're just tuning in, we're talking with Mai Yang, who's the program project director, excuse me, for WIOA. And this show is for you. If you're looking to upskill, if you're looking to grow your career, if you're looking to land your next great job, WIOA is here to help you. So if you have questions, drop them into the chat and we'll include them in the show, because you need to know about WIOA because they can help you get ahead and get that next great job. So let's go into that, Mai. WIOA's mission and program, and how do we find out about it? Tell us about us.
So WIOA is Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. The goal of the program is employment. And I know a lot of people think it's training, but it's actually employment. The goal is employment. So we provide services that, and we'll work with participants, and the end goal is basically to help them find employment. How does a person find out about WIOA? They can search their state, their county, and WIOA, and it should take them or give them some link to that. But if you're in Wisconsin, you can go on to Job Center of Wisconsin, and click on the Job Center location, there's a icon at the bottom right hand corner that you can click on, and it will provide you a list of um, the counties. You click on the county, it'll actually provide you a list of the resources and the WIOA providers in your area.
And you see all those resources. How do you know if you're eligible for WIOA's help?
So for WIOA, there is a process for registration and enrollment, or eligibility and enrollment. The best thing is just give the provider a call. You will have to complete an application and provide proof that you're eligible to work in the US. And eligibility to work in the US are your typical items on your I-9 form that you would provide an employer when you start your job. For males that are born after 1960s, they have to be registered with Selective Services. And if they're not, they will be working with the career planner will work with them to complete a waiver that has to be approved. You may be asked to provide information on your income. That is so that the career planners can determine your level of priority in the adult program. For dislocated worker, because we have in WIOA, we have the adult program, and then we also have the dislocated worker program. You will need to provide proof that you're laid off or eligible for UI. If you're a part of mass layoff, notice of layoff. Then we have a few categories in our dislocated worker program, such as displaced homemakers, if they're separated or separating service member. You may have to provide your DD-214 for that, or a statement. So we have a few categories in that dislocated worker. It's a matter of working with your career planner and determining which one will fit you, which program you're eligible for. But the basic eligibility is basically proof that you're eligible to work in the US. And for males born after 1960, Selective Services.
So once you qualify, it unlocks a lot of opportunity. So tell us what WIOA does, because it's not just training. Tell us about all of the services that it provides.
So they provide career services. Career services are your basic, helping you with your resume, cover letters, providing you job leads, connecting you with employers, referrals to workshop, or help with interviewing skills. We do offer referrals to DWD's workshops, and their workshops are now online. So if you go to Job Center of Wisconsin, there is a link there to access their virtual online workshops. They have things from networking to job searching with technology, resume, and job application. So anyone can sign up for those. We also provide supportive services as they relate to employment and training. But there are limits. Main thing is working with your career planner on this. This includes uniforms or tools for work or training, exam fees, books. Again, all of these have to relate to employment and training. So there's that piece too.
That's fantastic. What a resource. Is WIOA the only funding option available for people?
No, there are other funding sources. If you are in the TAA, we have individuals who are part of TAA. They get funding through there as well. DVR, W-2, AFSET. With AFSET, you have to have an open food share case. So there are other options out there depending on what you are already working with, or just I always say is ask the question. Someone will probably know.
Yeah.
And connect you.
If you're just joining us, this is the interview presented by New Horizons of Wisconsin and sponsored by Forward Careers. And we're talking with Mai Yang, the project director of WIOA. And the purpose of the show is to help get you the information you need so you can get a great job. That's why it exists. So if you have a question while we have Mai here on the line, we would love to get it into the interview. Just put it into the chat and we'll include it. So let's step away from WIOA just for a second and let's look at the overall job landscape. What are some of the in-demand careers and jobs available that a potential job seeker should be thinking about going into? Because there are opportunities out there. What are the hot areas?
Hot areas, like I said earlier, healthcare is one right now. Um, in logistics, I see IT as a growing and a big one too. Construction and manufacturing. Again, um, healthcare, you'll probably, your CNA, your RN, those type of job are in demand. Um, and then there is in logistics, CDL, you have the warehouse jobs, IT, I see a lot of growing and remote jobs on that IT piece. Um, there are certifications like the CompTIA. I've seen people get into those and are able to find IT help jobs. Construction is another area. Um, and, the process of getting that through that. Getting and in construction you have a multitude of uh, uh, career or paths that you can go into as well.
There's so much opportunity out there and having people get ready for it. And that's what WIOA can help you with. Also, New Horizons of Wisconsin, they're there. You've worked with
Mhm.
them before. Can you talk about your observations and how New Horizons of Wisconsin can help a job seeker find a great job?
Oh yeah, been working with Abby closely too. Very great group of team to help individuals navigate that piece and connect with WIOA for help with funding their training. So not only are you going to get the career planner from your WIOA, but New Horizon have someone that will connect you as well and help you through that process as well. So that's the great thing about I find about New Horizon.
So this has been a great chance to connect with you, learn about WIOA. Last call for Q&A. If you're watching the interview and you want to get a question on the air to Mai Yang, please get it in now, and that way we have time to fit it in. So let's just make sure that we hear everything from you. Is there anything about WIOA that people do not know that you wish that they did?
I think the one thing and the biggest thing is it's about employment. I think a lot of people come to us thinking it's training, but main thing I would like people to know is at the end goal, it's about employment. So how do we get you to that end goal? There's multiple ways to get to that end goal. Sometimes it's training. Sometimes it's maybe modifying what we already have and looking at uh, the skills you've gained in the skills that you have, and how does that help you to get to that next step.
Well, it's been great to connect with you. And just the last question I have is if I'm out of work right now, should I be optimistic? Are the opportunities out there good ones? If I put in the work and I use the resources that you have for me, should I be optimistic right now if I'm looking for a job?
Yes, there are opportunities out there. It's a matter of my main thing to people is that you do it.
Mhm.
Um, you take, um, don't wait. I always say things are not given to you. You have to work for it. So
Yeah.
if that means you have to do that extra work of getting that paper filled out, do it.
Well, Mai Yang, the project director of WIOA, it was great to catch up with you today. And not only thanks for coming on the show, but thank you for everything you do every day for people trying to up level their life and get a great job. We really appreciate it.
Too. Thank you.
My pleasure. So, if you want to improve your chances at landing a great job, make sure to check out newhorizonswy.com and chat with our training staff. They're standing by right now. Go ahead and test them. Hit the website, newhorizonswy.com, and start chatting with them. They will start chatting back with you. Trust me on that. And also, thank you to our sponsor, Forward Careers. The next episode of the interview, we do this once a month, and it's designed for you, the job seeker, someone that's looking to grow their career and land a next great job. We always like to talk about the things that you need to know. So next month, May 4th, it's always the first Tuesday at 10 a.m., we're going to talk with Lisa Rabel. She owns a local marketing agency, but she does a talk on helping people get ready with their pitch. And she's going to talk to job seekers just like you to help you get ready for your interviews. So she's going to modify a Perfecting Your Pitch webinar that's going to help you leave our call next month with a fresh new way to talk about you, your history, and your skills. It's going to be great. Mark your calendar, May 4th, 10 a.m. for the next episode of the interview. It was great catching up with May today. It was great catching up with you as well today. Thank you for joining this episode of the interview presented by New Horizons of Wisconsin and sponsored by Forward Careers. I'm Pat Miller, the Idea Coach. We'll see you next time.